Hi, this is Lauren with Verivest, and today we are with Iran Pollock from HAP Investments. Welcome. We're really excited to speak with you
Thank
today.
you very much and good morning.
Yes, absolutely. So I'd love to get started and just hear a little bit of your origin story and tell us how you ended up where you are today.
So I started doing real estate in Israel and in East Europe. Did a lot of projects in Budapest and Kiev. Lately, in the last 15 years, I'm working in New York. And started very strong after the financial crisis of 2008. So I'm here in New York now. I moved here about 10 years ago and did a lot of rental building and condo building, and very happy to be here in New York, even
Yeah.
even that we went through a very hard year.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure. I was previously in New York as well too, and so much of it has changed in the last year as well. So I'm sure you've kind of seen the difference over, the last 12, 18
Yes.
months.
And
Yeah.
it's getting better now. It's really starting to be great now. So that's
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. So tell me how you source deal flow. What's your acquisition strategy that you put forward?
Yeah, I think that of course, I started here on a very opportunistic time, and that was the strategy. 2008 financial crisis. I bought a lot of land, very, very cheap, and I was developing the lands. And while I was developing the lands, I was developing also my team over here, and I have a very strong team of project manager, legal team, accounting team. And I think the strategy today, when I'm here already so many years, is take advantage of the professional team that I have, the very strong team that I feel can do better when we're competing on a deal. And also have a very strong acquisition team here in New York that source deals all the time, look at deals all the time. I have a lot of landowners that come into us directly, looking for JVs or looking for opportunity to sell their land. So I think it's the combination today. Uh, and actually now, even after COVID, so it's a combination of an opportunity after a crisis, a combination of a very strong acquisition team, and a combination of a very strong professionals that can execute on project, that can manage buildings, and that can do great job. And with that strong team, we're trying to source deals where we are strong. So it's Manhattan, it's Jersey City, everywhere here in New York or the New York area.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And, you've just mentioned New York and New Jersey, but can you elaborate a little bit more the key markets that you operate in and kind of why you select those markets?
First of all, when the financial crisis started and it was so big and so strong, I felt like it's a great opportunity to be in the greatest, biggest city in the world. And that's why I decided to start over here. Although I looked at many other places in the United States, but I felt like if there is such a strong storm, I should take advantage and start in the biggest, greatest city in the world, which is New York. As I said, I developed a very strong team over here, and then we expand to do project in Jersey City, and we are expanding and looking now at places in other cities in the Jersey state. So this is our playground. I would say New York, Jersey, Yonkers, which is a little bit outside of New York City, everywhere that we can take a 1 hour train, half an hour train, 15 minutes Uber, and so on.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like you really like to kind of have your boots on the ground and be able to visit all the sites and projects that you have going on in the area.
Right.
Right. So please let me know what your investment philosophy is. How do you determine whether a deal is worth doing?
I think that I think the investment philosophy, you always need to find, with New York is a very competitive market, and the profits is hard to get, and it's not always there on deals. You need to find a borderline areas, an area that you think, well, now it's not the best area, it's on the border, it will be a great area. So if I take, for example, our 28th Street project. So the project is on 28th Street between 7 and 8. I started assembling the land about 6, 7 years ago. And when I started, that was the end of Chelsea, and some people would argue that it's not even Chelsea, and so on, and it was like, it's the end, it's not really, it's not the best place. Now, when Facebook took the new offices in 34th Street, suddenly now 28th Street is the center of Chelsea. That's the best spot in Chelsea. All the kids from the high tech wants to live there, and it's close to the offices. It's a walking distance, and there is so many amenities and so on. So I think that's the philosophy. I think it's either you buying best prime spots that you can overpay, whatever, because you will sell it also later in a very high price, or you're finding a place that while you're developing the land, while you're building the building, the place will become the hottest place in the city, or a very demand, and there will be a lot of demand.
Yeah, absolutely. And how do you generate value once you've made the investment? What's your risk mitigation strategy that you put forward?
I think eventually to create value is to put the consumer as the most important thing. I think eventually, if I look at the project that I did in East Harlem or 28th Street, the idea was always to give the consumer something that is better than the area, better than the neighborhood, but not too much, something that he can pay, something that he can afford, but something that he can be proud of. People want to be proud about the place that they are living. They want to brag about it. I live in this building, and they want to be proud about it. And I think if you put the consumer as the most important thing in the project, then most probably it will be a successful project, because people will come either buy or rent, depends what is the project, and then the project will be profitable and successful.
Yeah, absolutely. And lastly, you spoke on this a little bit of the team that you've put together, but who are your key players involved that allow you to execute your acquisition asset management strategy?
So I have, first of all, a very strong chief legal officer, Andrea, she's, I think, maybe 25 years in the real estate market in New York, very knowledgeable when it's come to legal aspect of a deal, but also when it's come to structuring the deal, understanding the players in the deal, understanding the interactions, and how the deals need to move forward. I have a very strong project management team that is led by Musa, also very experienced engineer that built many projects here in New York. I think that him and his team are very capable on we're doing a new deal now, so they're sitting, going through all the choices that we can build over the details, very strong understanding the budget, the obstacles, the problem that can be raised from any project and how we're resolving it, even though we didn't bought it yet. But we're already
Right.
exploring how we're resolving issues that will come in the future. And when it's come to marketing, I think as a company, and I think myself and the brokers that we are working here, we really know how to put the consumer in front, like I said,
Right.
and create a project that people would love to live in.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for speaking with us today and telling us more about HAP Investments. It was really a pleasure to chat with you, and we look forward to working together.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure, and have a nice day.
Yeah.